Post-Vietnam, as I said, my plan was to go to fighters. I actually went back to helicopters for 2 years, possibly the most dangerous time in my life, because by now I was back, and two things. One, I thought I was much better than I was as a helicopter pilot, and two, so did the hierarchy, because they used to let us go and do silly things. When you looked at the accidents that happened post-Vietnam, certainly in the first 2-3 years, they all happened to Vietnam experienced guys, where the younger blokes, it didn't seem to happen to. So there was, the great main rotor intermeshing crash in Lake Copiago in New Guinea. Two very experienced post-Vietnam guys caused it. There were several aircraft fell off mountains or whatever in New Guinea, and they were ex-Vietnam guys, where the younger guys, I don't think, were put in the position of I don't think the supervision wasn't as careful as it should have been. And I think the experience and skill got us out of a lot of trouble at times, but we put ourselves in some trouble at other times. Look, I could narrate a few accidents that happened, and you think, well, what was he thinking? But
is it about pushing the aircraft just that little
just
bit?
Too far beyond? Yeah, thinking, oh, well, I can do this, or the number of times we would do semi-aerobatic things in an Iroquois, and nothing ever happened when we did that, but it was pretty silly in retrospect, given the design of the aircraft.
Whereas a newbie would be very reluctant to push.
To do that, that's right, yeah. So we were overconfident. I had on one of those attachments in New Guinea, post-Vietnam, my greatest moment was ensuring the survival of a later Chief of Defence, one Angus Houston, who was co-pilot up there. We were living at Ambunti in support of the army. I was, as a 22-year-old flying officer, take these 2 helicopters, 6 pilots, 3 crewmen, 6 engineers, go to New Guinea, don't call us, we'll call you. And Angus got really crook one day, and he had to be medevaced after last light from there to Wewak, and airplanes or aircraft didn't fly in New Guinea after last light. But got him up there, he was as crook as a dog. They got him to hospital and he was okay. He came back to work a few days later, but conditions were pretty bloody average. But anyway, so after I realised now I needed to have a career, and not necessarily on helicopters. So my next master plan was to get myself to multis